Hello, witches. We have to talk today. Okay. Someone has thrown a curse at me. It's crazy because I've been feeling so strange and having strange experiences or encounters lately. This actually goes back several months, but it has been a sort of off and on thing because, of course, I do protection work almost all the time. At least once a month during the waning moon, I do a reversal candle. As I've said before on the channel and on social media and Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, it's one of the staples of my practice. I do a reversal candle once a month during the waning moon for the purposes of just in general spiritual protection, spiritual cleansing. It's very important to do. If you are a spiritual person, if you're practicing magic, if you're doing magic for clients, if you're doing tarot readings for people, if you're active in the spiritual realms, coming into contact with entities and demons and different spirits of human souls and all of it, it's very important to keep your protection up. And I emphasize that a lot on my channel and in past videos and once again on social media, Instagram and Facebook and things like that. Because I want people to know how important it is to keep your protections up as part of your just spiritual routine, maintenance, the same way as you clean your body and you clean your house. You want to make sure that you're also spiritually cleansing your aura and your space, and doing protection work as well. Protection and cleansing to me go hand in hand. So it's very important, and it's something that I do regularly. However, sometimes I do slip up on it, or I don't catch things, or I don't notice certain things. or I just ignore it. To be completely honest, that's what happened this time around. I started off a few months ago getting dreams of a particular individual who I've had issues with in the past, who is also a witch. And there's been an off and on thing going on with that person as well. They send hexes at me, and I do reversal spells, and things are, you know, good for a few months or even longer, and then they throw another hex. But things had been quiet for several months. So I thought this person finally, you know, had given up. However, I started having dreams about this person again. And the dreams are always the same. This person comes to me, actually astral projects to my home, into my room, and basically tries to argue with me about our friendship or relationship coming to an end and the reasons why and things like that. And argues with me in such a way that they're basically trying to put the blame on me and sort of just get me to accept, even though it's not true, that it's my fault or that I'm partially to blame for the relationship and the friendship coming to an end and all of the hexes and things that have been thrown and the reversal spells and all of this going back and forth and everything. So it's always the same with this person. Now, the dream started up again like a month or two ago, and it's not like a constant recurring thing. It's more like, you know, the dream will come, I will immediately do banishing, up my protections, and all of that, because like I said, this is something that's been happening for a while now, but it sometimes goes several months in between. So in that long time period, I kind of end up letting my guard down. And I revert back to just my monthly general reversal spells and protections in that way. Of course, whenever I have these dreams and this situation, this person comes back around energetically, I up my protections a lot more and do my protection work more as a daily practice rather than just monthly. So basically, that's what has gone down lately in the last like month and a half or 2 months. I had a dream of this person. I upped my protections. I did a reversal spell with the last waning moon. However, I did end up getting sick. I got like this weird cold thing. However, I don't want to call it a cold because it really wasn't a proper cold. It was like a magically induced sickness that had similar symptoms to a cold, but not all of the symptoms of a cold. So I got that. It was on me for like a week. I was taking medicine. I was doing protection, cleansing work, and I ended up getting better for like a few days. Then it came on me again. Again, it lasted for like a week or two. Gradually getting better like the second week, but it was still there. And then I recovered from it. So I kind of thought it was over at that point, because I was pretty well for like a whole week and a half. And then out of nowhere, I got very fatigued one day and ended up going to sleep in the middle of the day, and I slept all the way overnight, all the way over the entire next day, and I woke up that afternoon, evening, into the night again, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And I woke up and I was very thirsty, so I drank a whole bunch of water, and then immediately, within like 10 minutes or so, I got very sick, and I was like throwing up, and that entire whole night, wasn't able to eat anything. I was just literally just throwing up the whole time. I felt very sick, and I felt a lot of pain in my stomach, which is also not normal. Well, first of all, none of this is normal. I never get sick, ever. So none of this was normal to me. I knew something was up. But with that night of me throwing up, I felt intense pain. And I really ended up getting quite concerned. I was like, am I going to have to call, and go to the hospital, because this does not feel right. It feels like extremely painful and strange. And that lasted the entire night. And I ended up just going to sleep again in the morning and sleeping all the way until the next, the next day in the morning time again. When I woke up, I was completely fine. I had, I think I lit a candle for healing before I went to sleep. And I had some crystals with me in the bed when I went to sleep. But the next morning when I did wake up, I was completely fine. I felt normal. I was like, okay, maybe that was it now. And this will be over. So I was fine for a few days once again. And again, I woke up with that sickness. I was throwing up, and it lasted for hours, overnight to the next morning. Had the intense pain in my stomach and all of that. The same thing. And again, I did some work and I went to bed. I slept for a really long time, and when I woke up, I was fine again. Okay. So again, after that happened, I woke up and I was completely fine. I felt normal. And I was like, okay, maybe it's over now. I continued with my protection work. And things went fine from that point until about a few days ago. And what happened this time was I was actually doing something in my room. I was like cleaning, moving stuff around, sort of. And it's like I suddenly got disoriented. I kind of skipped ahead on this part. Actually, prior to that, I had been having insomnia from this past full moon. For like 4 days, I was having insomnia. I wasn't able to sleep overnight, and then I would end up sleeping during the day, and then I would sleep for a very, very long time than normal, and then I would wake up. I would only be up for a few hours, and then I would feel tired again, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? So 4 days of that went on. And then, which leads to this day, I was cleaning my room, just moving some stuff around, and I suddenly got very disoriented and dizzy, and I ended up falling down. And I like hurt my arm. I don't know if you can see. There's like a scab here. Let me see if I can show y'all better. can see these like marks here on my arm, these red marks. I fell down and I hit my arm. I didn't fall completely down. I actually caught myself with my arm, but that is what happened. And again, I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? This is not normal. A little bit later through into that day, the same thing happened to my mom. She actually fell down. She landed on her left arm and she actually ended up breaking her arm. Which is very messed up because all the way back last November, November 1st, she fell down and she broke her right arm, and she's been recovering ever since then. She's had to get 2 surgeries and all of that to recover from it. And at this point, she had her 2nd surgery done, and she was pretty much fully healed from that at this point, on her right arm. And now she fell. She broke her left arm the same day that I fell and hurt my left arm. So when that happened, I knew something definitely was up. Like, this has got to be that someone has thrown a curse at us or at me. Now here's the thing with that. You can throw curses at me all day long, okay? The worst it's going to do to me is it's going to make me sick or something temporarily. I will recover from it and I'll be fine, okay? But when you start throwing curses at my mom or at my family, now we have a real problem. And I'm about to fuck up whoever did this. I know who I think it is based off the dream warnings and this prolonged thing I've been getting with the same person. I'm pretty sure that that's who it is, but I'm going to do some divinations and put some fillers out, communicate with my spirits, and I'm going to find out exactly who did this. And I'm going to fuck them up, because once you start affecting my family, now we have a problem, okay? So I kind of wanted to just come on the channel, let you guys know that's sort of what I've been dealing with lately. It is only now at this point that I come to realize that it is that someone has done a curse on me. So of course I'm going to take even more drastic measures to deal with it, rather than the more simple protections and reversals I've been doing, sort of general. Now I'm going to do more targeted work against whoever is sending this out. So I went shopping. We will just pretend like that didn't happen and edit it out of the video. So I went shopping. I got another reversal candle. So I'm going to be using this as well for this working. And the reason why I'm sharing this on the channel is because I sort of wanted to use this as a way to go ahead and share some things with you all, as far as tips and just advice on, you know, ways you can know if someone has thrown a curse on you and what you can do about it. So let's go ahead and get into that part of the video. Now, there's tons of information you could easily look up yourself on YouTube. How to know if you're cursed, symptoms of being cursed. You can look it up on Google. You can come up with quite a bit of information. And that's fine and well, and I do recommend and suggest that you do that because I'm not going to go over everything here. But I do want to talk about some things that I don't really see mentioned that much. And sort of things how I have experienced, or what I have experienced, that to me lets me know that someone has thrown a curse at me. For sure. So a lot of times I get dreams. If not specifically showing me who is doing the curse, I'll get other dreams that are just very odd and intense. Dreams about getting killed or attacked. Dreams about just being oppressed by negative situations, or getting in arguments with people in a dream. Different things like that, where it will just be this negative energy coming in and manifesting in a intense negative situation, such as fighting physically, or just arguing very heatedly, very intense, or even getting attacked and getting killed in the dream state. Those are the type of dreams that I have most often that are warnings to me that someone has thrown a curse. The second most often type of dreams that I have is I will actually just be shown the person themselves that is throwing curses at me, and actually seeing them do the curse work. A lot of times, for some reason, it's shown to me as if they're actually projecting into my room, and then I can see them doing the curse work, in my room, and I just witness it. That is the second most often thing and warning to me about, and it's people that I usually don't even think about. People that are magical practitioners that I have made enemies with in the past for whatever reasons, that they're haters. Because I will never go out of my way to make an enemy with someone. I'm not like that. But people tend to make enemy out of me for whatever reason. So, I will end up, ending the relationship with them, and then not even think about them ever again. I can perfectly go on like that. So in my normal dreams, there's a handful of people that I dream about. Family members, friends, that are in my sort of regular daily dreams. Or that can be in my dreams regularly. Then there's people that I never think about, never interact with, never talk to, such as these enemies. They're never in my dreams until one of these incidents pops up. So to me, it just, that's something that I just wanted to put into this, because I wanted you to know, there's a clear difference between the type of dreams that you normally have versus type of dreams that are psychic warnings and stuff like that. And one of those major differences is your regular dream cast, so to speak, the cast of characters that are regularly in your dreams versus people that you never even think about when you're awake and you never dream about, and then they're suddenly popping up in your dreams. That could be a major warning to you, especially if they are a magical practitioner that you've made enemies with in the past. So pay attention to that if that pops up to you. or pops up for you, especially if in the dream itself they're doing a curse on you. So that's another thing. I feel like this music just keeps getting louder and louder the more I turn it down. Okay, so another thing. What was it? Okay, yeah, another thing, one thing that's been affecting me, or that tends to affect me, is I will notice issues with insomnia. Like I will end up staying up for several days or just a couple days in a row, either not feeling tired or not being able to fall asleep, and then I will end up sleeping for several hours longer than I normally sleep. So it'll be one or the other, or a mixture of both. That is another sign to me that someone has done curse work. Disruptive sleep patterns, insomnia, or sleeping much longer than normal, feeling fatigued when you wake up as well. So that's another one that I get a lot. What else is there? This sort of goes hand in hand with that, but you will also feel like a loss of inspiration and motivation as well. And I feel like that's also tied in to the insomnia or the fatigue. It's like a psychic attack that's draining your energy out, basically. That takes away from your motivation and your inspiration that you normally would have, and things like that as well. This might even lead into feeling depressed or feeling in the extreme. If it really drags you down, you might even feel like life is pointless, or that you have no meaning or purpose and things like that. That's going to be, once again, in the extreme case of this. Like if the insomnia and fatigue has gone on for a very long time, if the lack of motivation and inspiration has gone on for a prolonged period of time, it can lead into these darker, oppressive thoughts and feelings just about life in general. So that's a major one as well that you should be aware. That could be a symptom that someone has done a curse at you. Okay? Especially if you're a person that doesn't normally suffer from depression in regular intervals or anything like that. So be aware of that too. Once again, this is not going to be a comprehensive list. I'm not going to go over everything because you can find all the information elsewhere. But I did just sort of want to include these things that I don't see on those typical lists. So that's why I just sort of wanted to cover some symptoms here. But some other things are, you will get, pretty much warning signs from your own spirits and your own deities and your own guides and things. So you might notice just some different things that you would feel are foreboding or ominous. This could be things involving with animals. You might notice a lot of black animals, that you're seeing a lot of black animals, or seeing, just one or two black animals, but in an ominous way that seems very out of place and very much like it is a sign to you. This could also be in dreams as well. One time when someone threw a curse at me, I had a dream that a bunch of black pigs and hogs were coming onto my porch and trying to get into my house. And that's like an animal that I never dream of or even think of in my daily life. But I dreamed that a bunch of them were like trying to get into my house one night. And it was a very foreboding, dark, scary dream. So I knew that that was a warning that someone had thrown a curse, mixed with other things that were going on. So a lot of the symptoms and signs that you'll read or hear, it's normal for everyone to just have one or two of those things going on sometimes, and that does not mean you're cursed. But if you notice that you have a lot of those things going on, then definitely it's something to look at. You know, maybe you have been cursed. And at the least, look into it. Get a reading done, do some divination, pray to your spirits, and see if they will let you know that indeed you have been cursed, okay? And even if this is my recommendation, maybe this borderlines into a little bit of paranoia, but even if you don't think that you have been cursed, but you do have some of the signs, I do still recommend, it wouldn't hurt to do protection work, do a reversal spell, just in case. You'll save yourself a lot of energy and potential problems down the road if you just do a reversal spell right away anyways, just to be sure, just to be safe. And like I said, I do reversal spells once a month anyways, so being in that pattern myself, if I thought someone might have hexed me but I wasn't sure, doing a reversal spell anyways just to be safe, it's not that much of going out of the way for me personally in my regular system of doing reversal spells once a month anyways, and that type of spiritual maintenance. So that might be something that you just want to do anyways, just in case as well. I'm looking over this list here just to see if there's anything else. I will include some of these because these are some of the most common ones. And this is from Jess Carlson's website. So she has loss of sleep, nightmares, like I said, body aches without explanation. That is another one that I get sometimes, personally myself as well. Now, once again, this is body aches without explanation. So, of course, if you were working out, or if you, were doing something that would give you a body ache, obviously that's not going to be a sign that someone is cursing you. But if you have unexplained body aches, sharp pains, especially like sharp needle, pinprick type pains that you don't know where it's coming from, it's not associated with anything that you've been doing that would make your body sore, those are definitely warning signs that someone is doing black magic against you. So be aware of that too. One that I get a lot is that I will get soreness in my arms or my back or my legs, as if I had been working out, but I hadn't. And it would feel that type of similar soreness though. Or I will get soreness or pain in my joints and hips and things that I normally don't have, as if I had just like walked a fucking marathon the previous day or something. but I've done nothing to elicit feeling that pain. But it's similar to that. So that's another one to consider if you get weird pains like that out of nowhere, coupled with some of these other symptoms, that could definitely be a sign that someone has cursed you. Oh, she actually has that listed here as well. Body aches without explanation, headaches, and then she has persistent joint or muscle pain. Definitely, that's one that I get a lot when someone throws curses at me. And it's not enough to like incapacitate you, but it's enough to be like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and it's an annoyance more than anything. Problems with your relationships is another one, and that's definitely true too. You might find yourself arguing with people and friends and family members and just clashing and getting in a whole bunch of tiffs and arguments, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is my loved one. We usually never butt heads, but all of a sudden now we're just arguing constantly. It seems like we can't come to terms or work things out. It's always something. That could be another sign that you have been cursed. Low energy and lethargy, I already went over that one. General bad luck, that's another one that's very common. Things will break. You will be having constant issues with things breaking, having to purchase a new item because you've broken one, or one has just like the battery has drained, or just different things like that in your electronics. Things are breaking and they're fairly new, so they shouldn't be, or they're breaking by accidents, like dropping them or sitting on them, or you know, just weird things like that, and you're having to purchase new ones because of that. This could also be applied to your car breaking down, different appliances in your kitchen, like your refrigerator or your microwave, your water heater, your toilet, your sink, a whole bunch of different things like that could be breaking down as a result of someone throwing curses at you. And mainly this is to cause you to have losses financially, because you're going to have to be dishing out more money for those things. And it won't just be one or two. It will be like a whole bunch of them happening back to back. And that's how you're going to know this is something more than just, you know, a random bad luck with one thing breaking. But it could be a curse if it's happening a lot back to back and it's hitting you in the wallet. Okay? So pay attention to that as well. Feeling you're always in a dark mood. Okay, I already kind of covered that. Low libido, that could be another one. If you suddenly just don't feel it at all for a very prolonged period of time, there could be something going on there. Someone could be binding your energy, because your libido and your sex drive and all of that is part of your life force energies. So if you suddenly feel that has been cut off and you're not having it at all, that could be a sign of these psychic attacks draining your life force. So pay attention to that as well. Impulsive and dangerous behavior and not acting yourself. That could be part of this as well. You could be having panic attacks, anxiety attacks out of nowhere, fears and worries that are sort of just bombarding you. This could be tied into some of the other things, so a lot of this could be interrelated. Like if you're getting a whole bunch of your shit breaking down and you have to buy a whole bunch of new things, you might suddenly be having financial problems, and then that's going to be causing you to have a whole bunch of worries and anxiety attacks and different things like that. So all of this could be interrelated as well. This could also be coupled up with insomnia, feeling fatigued, getting that loss of motivation and inspiration. On top of all this stuff, so it just all adds up and gives you this very low vibration and energy, and that can lead to some serious things, like depression, feelings of worthlessness, even thoughts of suicide. So at the most extreme level, it can lead to that. So you have to be very careful with this. And you want to try to catch these things as soon as it starts happening, so you can start protecting yourself and doing reversal work and things like that as well, so it doesn't get to that point. So those are some of the most common things. As well as with the ones that I mentioned that I don't see that much on, these different lists of symptoms and stuff. So those are some of the ones. Another thing is weird, well, I sort of covered this, weird things with animals, but also it can be weird things with insects. Like you will notice that insects are invading your home all of a sudden, and it seems like you can't figure out where they're coming from or how they're getting into your house, and all of that. So that could be another one too. Or you could just be getting bit outdoors by insects back to back. I'm not just talking about getting bit by mosquitoes, unless it's like completely out of season. Like if it's in the wintertime and you're getting bit by mosquitoes and weird insects and shit, something could be going on with a curse. So pay attention to that too. Getting weird skin conditions and rashes and itchiness that you can't figure out what's going on. That could be another sign that someone is doing curses on you. So those are some of the main things. There is more things that could happen because this is magic and the sky is the limit on the creativity of the people that are doing the magic. So one could curse you in a way that is just completely, not one of these common symptoms that could be listed. So the main thing though is you will notice a lot of things stacking up. That will really let you know that this is a curse and it's not just, a one-off bad luck, okay? So, excuse me, if this happens, I want to talk about some of the things that you can do to get it off you. Now, once again, this is something you could look up. There's multiple videos about it. There's several spells you can find online. I have posted YouTube videos on reversal spells before and stuff too, and cleansing and things like that. And those are going to be, your staples for general. Do some cleansing baths, do a cleansing ritual, do a cleansing bath 7 days in a row or 3 days in a row. Do a reversal spell, a reversal candle, which these typically burn for about 7 days, and you can do repeat a reversal spell over the candle 7 days in a row. Those are your general staples. But what I kind of wanted to talk about in this video in particular, and to tie it back to how I started the video, if you're dealing with someone, a magical practitioner, that is sending you curses over and over again, and you just keep reversing it, and they keep sending more, and this has been a long drawn out process, that's what I want to talk about. How can you deal with this type of situation to have a more lasting, permanent effect and not having to continually deal with it all the time? So basically, my whole idea on this is change up your methods. So instead of doing the general things, the typical things, a cleansing bath, a reversal candle, try some new magical methods. Use your own creativity on how you can, or do a reversal spell that is different from how you normally do it. So if you're the type of person that normally does candle magic and your enemy knows that, then you might find yourself in a situation where you're having to continually keep doing protections because they keep sending more and more curses, and maybe they're getting creative with how they send the curses, and maybe you're only doing the same protections all the time. So what you need to do is get creative in the type of protections that you're doing. So if you're the type of person that only does candle spells or cleansing baths, maybe it's time to think about other ways and things you can do. Maybe you need to create a servitor or a familiar spirit, or even start working with a spirit from the Goetia or the Necronomicon or something like that, a spirit of protection itself that you can utilize to be as your protector or in your protection and reversal work. That's something to consider. Maybe you need to create your own spell that you will use, your own ritual that you will use that you didn't find in any book or in any YouTube video or on any website. Just your own completely unique spell using your own ideas for tools and things like that. Another idea is maybe use some not magic to protect yourself and do reversal magic and things like that. Do a petition to a different spirit from the voodoo pantheon. Do a petition to Archangel Michael or a spirit that you just normally don't work with, that your enemy wouldn't be like, oh, they go to this spirit all the time. Go to someone else. Go to a different spirit. Use a different method of magic than you normally use. Use not magic. Use cord magic. Use mirror magic. Use a different method of magic than you normally use. So that's another one. Or that's really the major thing that I wanted to say in this video. Change up your methods. If you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly reversing spells from a certain individual who is out to get you, then my number one recommendation is definitely change up your methods. Still do the other stuff, still do your reversals, still do your cleansing bath, but also try doing some other methods as well to throw off your enemy and to change things up. And I do highly recommend that you come up with your own unique method of a protection work that isn't just out there in YouTube or on websites or in any books. Come up with your own complete method that they'll never see coming, okay? And by doing so, you will have created a protection barrier that's out of the box. So it's not something that they'll be able to just, figure it out so fast and so easily. Okay? So that's my suggestion. That's what I'm going to be doing going forward with a certain person. But since they did hurt my family, I'm going to be sending out some shit of my own rather than just protecting myself and doing reversal like I normally do when they try to affect me. When you fuck with my family or my friends, you've just taken things to a whole new level. So I will be doing some other shit to target this person once I find out exactly who it is for sure. Like I said, I think I know who it is based on the warning dreams that I got of this person coming to my room astrally yet again. But I will also be doing some further clarification to make sure, because I do have quite a bit of people that it could be, that I've tried to start drama recently. So we'll see. I will find out who it is very soon, and I will go ahead and deal with it. So that's basically all I wanted to do this video about. Let you guys know what's been going on with me, sort of why I've been, absent a lot, and all of that. I've been dealing with a lot. But like I said, I only, last night, put 2 and 2 together that this is actually someone has done a curse on me. So now that I have come to that realization, I'll be dealing with it swiftly. And then moving on as usual. And yeah, that's basically it. Covered every point I wanted to talk about. So that's going to be all for this video. Let me know if you would like me to put some different protections and reversal work instructions as videos for you all. If that's something that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below, because like I said, I did already cover the typical reversal candle thing, but if you want me to cover some more out of the box methods that I have, let me know in the comments below, and I'll put those up on the channel so you can try some different ways of protecting yourself and all of that. So that's going to be all for this video. I will be back with more content after I deal with this, and as things progress forward in the coming days, I will be coming back with more videos and readings and stuff for you all. So thanks for sticking to the channel. Thanks to all of the new subscribers that have come. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you really enjoy the channel and all the content that I put out. And until next time, I love you guys. Hail to the witches, hail Hecate, and blessed be.